Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Little Big Man and welcome back to the January transfer window roundup. It is currently Friday, the 20th of January. Um, Obviously 11 days left. I mean 10 technically because it is the business end of the day. However, wait, we'll say 10 and a half. Go halfway. 10 and a half days left of the window. Obviously, as you can see, top left of your screen. That side, right? That side. Um, Top left of your screen is obviously who we've signed so far. The target was to bring in 6 players. So it could very well become a very busy end of the window for Newcastle if we are to bring in the 6 that we targeted. Um, but we will start with uh, we'll start with the departure possibly. Obviously, as you can see on the right side of your screen, I need to get used to this. Right side's my left, right left side's my right. That's gonna get confusing, but yeah. So potential departure for Miguel Almiron with interest in the player from Spain and Italy. Um, However, his agent has stated that they will see what happens in the summer. Um, Thus, meaning, thankfully, we aren't going to lose. There's a chance we won't lose him. Obviously, there could be a team that jumps straight in from now, but the way it seems, we won't lose him um, in this window. However, obviously, if team does come in, we could maybe end up selling to obviously free up the space for new transfers or whatever. Um, but yeah, to the ingoings. A £29 million bid was rejected for Akitake. Um, as apparently there were impossible to reach targets within the add-ons for the player. Um, so obviously we've not bid 29 mil straight up. We've bid 29 mil in instalments. I've got my key. 29 in instalments. With apparently some of it being if we win the Champions League, which they claim is impossible to reach. It's not. Obviously, it will be a very difficult task and one that, I mean, clearly they feel we won't reach, and especially not in the time that we have Hugo Ekitike for. Um, Another story is that, well, I mean, we'll go with the Diego Carlos one. Obviously, you can see in the bottom of your screen there is a competition for the player, as I mentioned yesterday. Obviously, Italian club bidding less than £30 million for the player, and a Premier League club, which it's been found out today is thought to be a London club. However, Arsenal are not. Thought to be this said London club that have bid for the player. Um, However, a major bid has been made. So obviously that leaves the likes of West Ham, Tottenham, Chelsea, possibly Crystal Palace. They could maybe slip under the radar, so it leaves them for left as deciding whether which one will be the London club that has bid for him. Obviously, there's been no update on the Italian club that made the offer. Obviously, based on the way it's going, they maybe might not be able to go as far with it, so that could be the most we'll hear of it. We never know. We'll find out in the next day. Speaking of stuff to happen in the next day, Pete Graves has hinted at a deal being completed within the next 24 hours. This was obviously this morning that I'd say, or this afternoon or whatever. So obviously by midday, maybe tomorrow, there could be a deal done or confirmed at least to be done. A permanent move for Jesse Lingard is possible if a big offer is made towards Man United, as they probably will be quite encouraged to accept. Obviously, with them they're bound to lose the player in summer for free. Um, the Diego Carlos deal is narrowing closer, um, which obviously is a good sign. But especially with competition now, we need to kind of push towards getting the deal done. Um, Darwin Nunez or Duvan Zapata is the target for another striker. However, obviously, as I reported yesterday, a bid for Zapata was rejected. Um, so obviously, whether we go in for the player or not, I'm not entirely sure. And also, a left back is targeted. Um, so obviously that's what 4 or 5 mentions there. Obviously we won't sign the 2 strikers, but that's 4 mentions which will help with the list at the top here. I need to get my bearings right here. So obviously it's uh, not quite the two centre backs that were thought to be getting brought in. I mean, I think it was an extra 4 people to be brought in, if I'm correct. But yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously within the next day. Um, and staying on the topic of Diego Carlos, an offer has been made for the Brazilian centre back in excess of £40 million. Obviously hoping to get that accepted. But there are reports about Sevilla saying that they want to keep him, which Carlos himself has supposedly laughed off. Obviously, he's an important centre back for Sevilla. Him and Jules Koundé at the back have obviously done well for them, hence why they're second in the league. But yeah, the player has apparently laughed off reports declaring that he will stay at the club. So obviously, it does look likely he will leave this window. However, there are concerns about Diego in the Premier League and whether he'll live up to standards or whatever. As some saying he is error prone, which is due to his self dependency. Obviously, he backs himself a lot of the time, which you need that confidence in a centre back. But as long as he can back up that confidence, then I'm all for it. Because we've got centre backs that are quite error prone currently. But another big story is, well, this morning it was said that Xavi has stated that Dembele will leave the club, seemingly this January, to try and cash in before he leaves for free in the summer, due to Dembele refusing to sign a contract with the Catalan club. However, it has come out in the past hour or two that Ousmane Dembele himself has released a statement basically stating that he is going to focus on the football and that his agents will deal with the contract talks that are currently ongoing. So it leaves a lot to be desired in that sense. As obviously Barcelona have supposedly offered the French winger to Man United and Newcastle United for about €20 million. So it's quite odd to see how that'll develop. As obviously it was, this morning obviously it looked likely that he could maybe be heading to Tyneside. But we'll have to see what happens in the next couple of days. And to end off, we've got some odds from Betfair on signings to be done before February the 3rd. So obviously, to no surprise, Diego Carlos is leading the line with him currently being 1-25 to be signed by Newcastle. We've got Sven Botman at 49, which has surprised me a lot, considering obviously it seems in the past few days to be on and off with that deal. The Todd Cantwell signing is at 8-11. Hugo Ekitike is at 10-11. James Tarkowski is 6-4, which has surprised me. As obviously it's very unlikely Burnley will want to sell him to Newcastle. Anthony Martial is 2-1, along with Jesse Lingard and Donny van de Beek. Obviously the Manchester United counterparts. All of which obviously it seems quite unlikely to happen because of our league position. And finally, Gini Wijnaldum is also at 2-1 to be joining the club. It's quite surprising, to be fair, some of those names. Like, you've got your Sven Botman, obviously, considering how awkward it is to try and bring him into the club. I'm surprised he's only 4-9. I thought, if anything, it'd have been a lot higher. Martial has declared he won't join an English club to honour Man United. Thus wanting to move to a European club. Obviously, Ralph Rangnick and Donny van de Beek himself are wanting to stay at the club. So it's quite odd. And obviously with Gini Wijnaldum, Arsenal are supposed to be going in for the player. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns. And obviously Tanguy and Ndombele is in talks with PSG. Obviously, I mentioned him a few days ago to join Newcastle, but it seems unlikely to be happening. But that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like if you are happy with any of these rumours, and let me know your thoughts in the comments about the rumours, or any rumours that I've not mentioned. Be sure to let me know, as I'm all ears. I'll be welcome to know any more rumours, and be sure to subscribe, as I will be getting these out basically every day in January. Obviously, I will probably give Saturday a miss. Obviously, with us having a match, the talks will be pretty restricted. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and adios.